When thunder from clouds drums and lightning is striking, when hail is descending and rain falls in torrents, then be mindful of the power of that observer of sounds. As a response to the moment, they will melt off and scatter. This reminds me of Jesus Christ rebuking the wind on the Sea of Galilee, and so the wind stopped blowing, and the disciples said, "Who is this that can command the wind?" So this is related to that in my mind. When beings are set on by troubles and misery, and incalculable suffering then threatens their bodies, the power of observer of sound's wondrous wisdom is able to rescue from worldly sufferings. Replete with the power of all super knowledge, having all the knowledge, while vast in practice of wisdom and means, ability and understanding. You have the statue of the Buddha with many faces and many hands. So the faces means observer of the world sounds can see in all directions, and the eye in the hand is the wisdom that can see, and means is the skillful means of the hand actually helping. So that's why he has many faces, hands, and the eyes. In all of the lands of the tenfold directions, there is not one Kosetra his body won't appearing, meaning he is omnipresent everywhere and anywhere. In all of the different pathways so woeful, among hells, among ghosts, among animals also, the anguish of birth, aging, sickness and dying is made by these methods to gradually be extinguished, the extinguishment of the reincarnation, life and birth. With the true contemplation, the pure contemplation, the vast and great wisdom suffused contemplation, so the Kshitigarbha Bodhisattva, the observer of the world sound Bodhisattva always looks with this meditating mind and is filled with wisdom, and it observes, she observes all the suffering, does not identify with the suffering. With compassion, contemplation, and kindness contemplation, he is constant in vows and eternally watchful. With pure light that is free of slightest defilement, vice or sin, the sun of his wisdom breaks through all the darkness. His ability constrains wind and fire disasters, and with universal brilliance illumines the world. With compassionate embodiment, thunderous quaking of precepts are the rules and the regulations of the Buddhist world, and the wondrous great cloud of his kindly intention, he pours down sweet dew as rainfall of Dharma. So the observer of the world sound Bodhisattva,观世音菩萨, normally is shown with a vase in her hand, pouring out this dew of rainfall of Dharma. Dharma is the truth that to reduce suffering, and puts out the flames on the fire of afflictions, anger, lust, desire, fear, negative curses, negative emotions. In disputes and lawsuits through government places, amidst all the terrors of armies formations, just be mindful of the power of observer of sounds, so hostilities will then abate and then scatter. So if there are wars, that wondrous sound of observer of world sounds, compared to the Brahman sound or to the sea tide sound, is superior to all those sounds of the world. So since one should constantly bring it to mind. So when we go to the ocean, we listen to the waves, we'll find it very comforting. And the Buddha is saying, the name of the observer of the world sounds Bodhisattva is a better sound than all of those sounds. In thought after thought, it's like the Christian says, surrender each thought in submission to Christ. Thought after thought, don't bring forth any doubting. In observer of world sounds purity and sagehood, in afflictions from suffering and misery of dying, he is able to serve one through acts of support. Same as if you go Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, thought after thought, without bringing forth any doubts in Allah. He is perfect in all of the merits and qualities. His loving kind gaze upon all beings, his sea of gathering blessings goes beyond any measure. His sea of gathered blessings, he's gotten so much good karma, and since one should move forward to offer him respect. At that time, keeper of the earth Bodhisattva arose from his seat and addressed the Buddha from in front, saying, "World honored one, if there are beings who have listened to the sovereignly independent karmic actions described in this chapter and to the spiritual power manifested by this universal gateway, which is chapter 25 of the Lotus Blossom. One should understand that the merit gained by these people is not insignificant, it is very significant. When the Buddha spoke this universal gateway chapter, 84,000 beings in the assembly all brought forth the mind intent to realizing the unequaled Anuttara Samyok Sambodhi. Basically, they wanted to become bodhisattvas, they wanted to attain full enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings, and that ends the old sutra. So when you finish the recitation, dedicate the recitation as follows, with hands folded in front of the chest. May the merits and virtues accrued from this work adorn the Buddha's pure land, repay the 4 kinds of kindness above, and relieve the sufferings of those in the 3 paths below. May all those who recite this sutra increase in their unconditional love towards all living beings. May I dedicate my body that came to being due to karma, so that I too will be reborn in the Western Pure Land, and go Amitabha, 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 or Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, or Hare Krishna, or Hare Krishna, throughout the day. The 4 kindnesses are parents, teachers and elders, country, and all living beings. Always be grateful. And similar to the 10 commandments, right? Honor your parents whether they are honorable or not. The 3 paths are hell, animal, and hungry ghost realms, which is the path we want to avoid. So, Namo观世音菩萨。